in Auburn, Alabama. The loveliest village on the plains boasts one of the loveliest basketball venues in the SEC. It's women's basketball today on SEC TV, number 10 Kentucky at Auburn. Welcome inside Auburn Arena. I'm Kara Capuano, joined by former Wake Forest standout LaChina Robinson. LaChina, the story of the Southeastern Conference so far has been the parity in the league. What we expected to happen, the teams we thought would be on top are actually looking up to some other squads 2 weeks into conference play.
Yes, the SEC is as competitive, unpredictable, and exciting as ever. Only 4 games in. What you see at home, the current standings on the left, what we thought was going to happen in preseason on the right, and this is a wide open race with Texas A&M undefeated, the only team in the league heading the charge.
But the reality is LSU, Tennessee, and today's team Kentucky are all still very much in the hunt. The Wildcats did not play Thursday night, a bye game for them, and an important one as far as improving the Wildcats' health.
Yes, Matthew Mitchell's team is recovering from some key injuries, and a week off of rest, but also some week time to work hard was beneficial. Castine Evans, coming back from a leg injury, did not play against Missouri, but we know how key her leadership has been all season. Denisha Stallworth has only been back for 3 games. Now, she's a double-figure scorer, hasn't gotten there yet, but Matthew Mitchell says she's well on her way.
Auburn, a very young team, paced by 2 familiar faces, the Tanner sisters, Tyrese and Tracy, coming off a great game at Alabama.
Well, they're an outstanding 1-2 punch, and Tyrese Tanner has been the do-it-all for this Auburn program, but now her sister is joining in on the action. Only her second career double-double at Alabama. She'll be holding it down in the post, on the boards, and is really going to have her hands full with Kentucky in the house.
We are going to take a trip inside Kentucky's locker room as well. Tip-off coming up next.
When we created C Spire, we found inspiration in the same values that inspire our customers. Bold leadership, intense passion, continual growth. And as we've grown, we've never lost sight of these principles. It's why we develop our wireless, fiber optic, and business solutions with your needs in mind. To us, you're not just a customer, you're our inspiration. C Spire, customer inspired.
We are back at family-friendly Auburn Arena as these youngsters make their way to their seats. Let's head inside Kentucky's locker room to listen in on head coach Matthew Mitchell's pregame speech from a few minutes ago.
Anytime Kentucky takes the floor, when we play harder than our opponent, you know what the outcome is, right? You know that is our formula, that is our magic, and you got to put it in play today. You must go out there and play harder than them. And when you do that, we know what's going to happen. All right? Let's go out there and get a big one.
Sophomore Janae Thompson running the point for this upperclassmen-heavy Kentucky lineup. You're going to want to watch number 23, Samari Walker, leading the Southeastern Conference in rebounding, almost 10 per game. And we have a change today in Auburn's starting lineup. The junior Hasina Muhammad sitting this one out. She's a key scoring presence for them, has an injury day-to-day right now. That inserts number 34, Peyton Davis, into the starting lineup, a bigger lineup today for the Auburn Tigers. We are getting ready to tip. The Wildcats cannot control Auburn's first possession on the way. That bigger starting lineup, LaChina, how does that affect this Auburn offense?
Well, it helps them on the boards for sure. I mean, we know how relentless Kentucky can be in rebounding. Auburn has done a great job on the boards as well, but it gives them a little more experience. They're starting 2 freshmen already, and Peyton Davis has been here, been in the war, so she's someone that they can rely on against a very tough Kentucky team.
Tyrese Tanner, the upperclassman leader, with the ball right now for Auburn. Megan Tucker running the point, passes it into Davis. She sure looks comfortable in this starting role today.
And she has a 4-inch height advantage over Samari Walker.
Matthew Mitchell in his 7th year at the helm of the Kentucky Wildcats. NCAA tournament appearances the last 4 years, and that includes 3 Elite 8 showings in those 4 appearances. Samari Walker hits the first.
Samari Walker was fouled going in for an offensive rebound, and that's something that will be important today for Auburn. They have to box out, even though Kentucky is undersized with this bigger lineup in for the Tigers. You still got to box out.
You see that pressure defense, the hallmark of the Kentucky Wildcats under Matthew Mitchell. Tanner on the run with the finish.
And that gives you confidence. You know Kentucky is going to bring the pressure defensively. Auburn did a very good job of breaking the press and getting an easy score.
Walker trying to post up. Working a little bit between Davis and Tracy Tanner down low. The Wildcats throw the ball away. Second year at the helm of the Auburn Tigers for Terry Williams-Flanoy. Also likes to implement an intense, pressure-laden defense. These two teams mirrors, but different styles of pressure in the China.
Yeah, in their full court, Auburn's going to pressure more in zone action. So their defense is more of a zone pressure defense, where Kentucky's is a man pressure defense.
Tracy Tanner with the offensive rebound, and she'll head to the free throw line. We've talked so much about Auburn's youth China, but right now I'm seeing great poise from 34 Davis, Tyrese, and Tracy Tanner, kind of bringing some maturity, and they don't look rattled very early by Kentucky.
Well, this is a team that's coming off arguably their best performance of the season at Alabama. I mean, they played outstanding, in particular in the first half of that game. The coach, Terry Williams-Flanoy, told us that this was one of the first times that her team has played hard on both the offensive and defensive end. It's been rather inconsistent one end or the other all season, but they're clicking at the right time.
Tanner misses the second. Kentucky on the run.
And we will see Auburn switch up defenses quite often. They have several different zones. And they'll change it up a lot.
Christine Evans, good block. A travel called on Megan Tucker, the freshman out of Covington, Georgia, trying to go a little bit fast there.
And Carol, we'll keep our eyes on number 1. You see her right there on your screen, Megan Tucker, as a freshman, having to handle the pressure that Kentucky's going to bring. One of the factors in this game is how will she respond? 3-2 zone look from Auburn here.
Thompson kicks it to Bria Goss for 3. In and out. Oh, the frustration, the hassling hands of Castine Evans. Jump ball, possession arrow in favor of Kentucky.
And that time you saw a senior in Castine Evans against a freshman in Brandy Montgomery just making a smart play. Shot goes up here. You are never safe when the Kentucky Wildcats are around, especially when they're in their pressing defense. And Castine Evans, the senior, you see why it's so important to have her back in the lineup after missing their Missouri game. She is tough.
And that's a scary sandwich because Bria Goss, equally tenacious in the defensive role, to try to get it away from the hands of Goss and Evans, very challenging for a young player. Denisha Stallworth in the lane. Tanner tries to kick it out to a teammate, but Kentucky will keep the ball.
Another factor in this game is how Tyrese Tanner, number 32 on your screen, how she handles moving to the wing. When Hasina Muhammad is healthy, Tyrese Tanner is playing at the power forward spot. Today, we will see her play at the wing.
Janae Thompson asking for it in the corner. Air ball. Tucker kicks it up to Tyrese Tanner. Pulls up in transition. Short. Bria Goss working from the wing. Takes it herself. Gets stripped in the lane. Peyton Davis calls a timeout.
This game is already off to a very hectic and frenetic pace. Both of these teams defensively want to get in your face, aggressive out on the basketball court. Take a look at the ball is advanced here by Bria Goss. She wants to look to attack, but good defense, good hands, and good hustle here. Auburn had 2 players down the floor. That's why they're wearing those knee pads, Kara, is Terry Williams-Flanoy said we are going to be a tough battle team. You see the knee pads, but she wants them on the floor. She wants them going after the ball and valuing every possession. She wants warriors.
Scrappy, gritty. That's the goal.
And Auburn has been an outstanding defensive team, in particular in conference play.
Randy Montgomery takes the long outlet and finishes 3rd basket of the game for the Tigers. Kentucky, meantime, still looking for its first field goal. Castine Evans isn't going to find it.
Randy Montgomery is a fearless freshman. It's very difficult to average double figures as a freshman in this very tough league. She's done it.
Shot clock at 10 for the Wildcats.
Again, that's a 1-2-2 zone. Looks like a 3-2 at some point.
That was a dangerous pass with Castine Evans lurking.
Well, and something Matthew Mitchell told us is he wants to see his team have patience and composure against the zone. He wants to work deep into the shot clock and make Auburn really have to defend.
Great feed there from Tucker to Tracy Tanner. And Matthew Mitchell wants to talk about this 9-2 early deficit.
Kentucky, 30-second timeout called by Kentucky.
Forcing shots.
So you just saw there Megan Tucker. We were talking about the freshman Randy Montgomery, but that was a pretty fearless pass from the freshman point guard LaChina. You brought it up. This is just her 2nd career start. She missed 10 games due to a pretty severe concussion. And Megan Tucker, Terry Williams-Flanoy said she brings us a little bit more poise at the position, and that's why she has earned that starting nod.
Yeah, she's come back. They expected her at the beginning of the year to start, but a really, really tough concussion. I mean, one that kept her out of the next 10 games. And she played 33 minutes coming off of their win against Alabama, and that's a good sign. I mean, she's still getting a feel for things, but she just has to be aggressive. Terry Williams-Flanoy said it's not about handling Kentucky's pressure, it's about being aggressive and attacking it.
Walker looking for the high-low look, not there. Kick out to Evans. Kentucky still cold. 0 for 8 from the floor are the Wildcats. Megan Tucker getting a break right now. We see Keani Parker running the point, the junior transfer out of Northwest Florida State.
And she has been in that point guard role while Megan Tucker was out with the concussion, but it's not her natural position.
That foul on Tyrese Tanner, her first personal. Wildcats 44% shooters this season, but cold to start this day. Tanner almost got a hand on that one. Goss in the lane. That's how you get your first basket, LaChina. A nice high percentage shot.
Bria is coming off a great game against Missouri. It was a week ago, so you wonder how the team will come out. Great attack here by Auburn. They are really pushing the ball.
It was an outstanding offensive rebound for Tracy Tanner. Couldn't finish, but Peyton Davis there has her teammates back.
But Goss playing well is major for the Wildcats.
Kentucky has closed Auburn's lead, but it's still a 5-point advantage for the home team in the early goings.
Health insurance is on everybody's mind right now. You either don't have it or you have it and you think it's too expensive. And you probably feel like you don't have any options. We can help. We are InSphere Insurance Solutions. We offer health insurance plans from major carriers nationwide and likely have a plan that can save you money. Whether you're self-employed, on a COBRA plan that's about to expire, or you simply don't have health insurance where you work and you need it, InSphere Insurance Solutions can help you. Our agents will help you find coverage you can afford from great companies like Humana, HealthNet, Aetna, and United Health One. InSphere Insurance Solutions is an authorized agency in all 50 states, including the District of Columbia. Plans may not be available in all states. 800-515-1176. 800-515-1176. 800-515-1176.
Welcome back to Auburn Arena, where the Tigers have a 9-4 lead over visiting number 10 Kentucky. LaChana, you were speaking earlier to the Tigers' defensive numbers in conference play. They've really ratcheted it up.
Well, you're wondering why this is a team that has won 2 SEC games on the road, which is not easy, but also only lost to South Carolina and Vanderbilt by single digits. Look at those numbers here. Blocked shots, second in the league. I mean, this is a team that can create turnovers. They get steals, and it has been their identity under Coach Terry Williams-Flanoy.
11.5 steals per game in conference play for the Tigers. Also not allowing a lot of rebounds to their opponents. Second personal foul charged against point guard Janae Thompson. She will take a seat for Kentucky. First action we'll see today for one of their fab freshmen, Lene Harper, number 15. Cabriana Capers has checked in for the Tigers. She has the ball now. Back to Parker running the point. So Tyrese Tanner getting a little bit of a break. Just too much on the lead to the pass. Tracy Tanner.
It's the right idea, and that's where Auburn will look to go in their half court, inside to Tracy Tanner. You don't have Hasina Muhammad available, and you need her to really be active on the interior.
Inside to Asia Bishop, kick out to Jen O'Neal. Off the mark on her trademark shot, the three-pointer. Parker drives the lane, denied by Asia Bishop, Kentucky's team leader in block shots and the second leading rebound.
Asia Bishop gives Kentucky some length on the inside, and that is a nice block. Sends it out of bounds by Bishop, a player that Matthew Mitchell is looking for more consistency. She's had double figures in rebounding 2 of the last 3 games. She's getting there, but her shot blocking ability would really come in handy in league play.
She is in the top 10 in the SEC. 20 blocks coming in, 21 after that one.
They're going to call a moving screen on Tracy Tanner.
Personal foul or team foul. Returning to the Auburn lineup, number 34, Peyton Davis, replacing number 44, Tracy Tanner.
Tracy Tanner takes a seat. Peyton Davis checks back in. Tyrese Tanner also back in the game, and the first we've seen today for another new face for Auburn, number 13, Katie Furkey.
Let's see what Kentucky can get against the zone. Matthew Mitchell said we have to continue to switch up how we attack the zone.
O'Neal short that time. Offensive rebound. Putback won't fall for Harper. Well, Montgomery is fearless on the drive, LaChina. I love this young player.
Great body control. She was moving very fast with the basketball player, but she was able to get control and finish.
Pinpoint pass inside the Bishop. Davis whistled there. my post-playing partner is making some motions with her hands as Bishop shoots 2.
Now, if you are Peyton Davis, you're 6'5", so you already have length. You can't extend
Hands up,
those arms.
straight up.
Exactly, the vertical. The vertical plane extended is where you have to have your hands. Once you lean over, you're at the mercy of the officials.
Rhea Goss takes a seat. Evans, Harper, O'Neal in the backcourt for Kentucky with Walker and Bishop up front. Asia hits the second. Tucker again pushing it quickly against the fellow freshman. Wow, they're hitting shots like that.
They're blowing through Kentucky's pressure like nothing. Megan Tucker is left-handed. She just drove all the way down the left side of the court. You got to make her use that right hand in transition.
Samari Walker going to work. Bishop with the offensive rebound. Soft touch for number 50 on the putback.
Now, Peyton Davis had to leave the game after that foul, and they don't have that same height on the inside, and Bishop's the tallest player on the floor right now.
Harper with the steal and the finish. And that's the thing about the Wildcats, LaChina, they can score in bunches. Burking trying to answer for Auburn. Tanner, no on the putback. In the air, athletic maneuvering by Brandy Montgomery.
I think you like Brandy Montgomery.
I love Brandy Montgomery.
Coach Terry Williams-Lenoy with a great game plan to attack Kentucky's defense with freedom of movement as an area of concern. Defenders can't put their hands on you. Go to the rim.
Tucker leads it to Tanner. She's got Montgomery across, didn't see her. Great defense by Castine Evans to shut down another fast basket for Auburn.
And transition defense has not been there for Kentucky this afternoon so far.
Tanner going to work on the freshman. Cross-court, cross-key pass to her sister.
Yesterday in practice, Auburn worked on sweep and go. Just very aggressive moves to the rim off the bounce.
High-scoring affair so far for Auburn. Harper Long gets her rebound, tries to thread it through, but Furking steals it. There goes Montgomery again. And that's one she's going to watch the film and think about shot selection, which is what they've been working on with number 10. Player control foul as the Wildcats continue to struggle.
Kentucky is not very comfortable in what they want to do on the offensive end right now. They tried to take a page out of Auburn's book and get straight to the rim. Their last few possessions, they shot jump shots, but I don't know about that call because it did not look like the defender got outside of the restricted area. I thought her feet, Katie Furking's feet were in the restricted area.
Resulting in Jen O'Neal shooting 2. Massive substitutions for both teams right now. 3 check in for Kentucky and a pair subbing in for Auburn.
So initially, it was a player control foul
against O'Neal, but the call was changed and now she's shooting free throws.
And that's the correct call.
That's exactly what you were pointing out on the replay, that you didn't like it.
Yeah, one of the officials must have gotten a better angle on it and was able to override the call. Because we got the signal that it was player control.
In question now, did Jen O'Neal hit the basket after the initial whistle? Mark Zentz talking it over with Coach Williams-Lenoy and Coach Mitchell. reps.
Ball went in, she got a one shot. We have to eliminate Pierre because we weren't aware of the ball going in the basket. Yes, she does get the basket.
All right, great. Mark Zins just came over and explained it to us. The ball went in. She took her one shot, and it's Auburn basketball. The basket is credited. It's now 17-11 Auburn advantage.
Foul call there on the trap. Kentucky bringing the pressure defense. Auburn does a good job of splitting that trap and getting the foul call.
And we're back on track. Auburn possession. Nice pass by Brianna Capers to the streaking Tyrese Tanner. She's got 6.
And any team that's going to take on the Kentucky Wildcats, you have to be able to have pressure released in your half court.
A lot of great distribution today by the Tigers.
Pressure release, backdoor cut, Tyrese Tanner for the layup.
Listen up, America!
Listen up, America. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. But here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans. And yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the health insurance hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS? The IRS is relentless and will collect from you. They can garnish your wages and levy your bank account. You have rights. If you owe the IRS at least $10,000 in back taxes, we can help. Our qualified CPAs and tax negotiators know the law and know how to get your situation under control. We will contact the IRS on your behalf, make arrangements, reduce the amount you owe if you qualify, and we can help stop collection calls. The consultation is free. Call Fix Your Tax now.
Welcome back to Auburn University. The Tigers early on managing that pressure defense of Kentucky, LaChina.
Well, this is one way to beat the pressure, and Terrence Williams-Fenoy has prepared her team to attack it. When they get the basketball in the backcourt, they are looking to charge right to the rim. The freshman, Brandy Montgomery, is not going to pull up and shoot. She's going to go right to the rack and look to make contact. And even Megan Tucker going left, getting in on the action as well. They are going to try to beat the pressure by attacking it and going right to the rim. Right now, their speed has been too much for the Wildcats in the open court.
O'Neal misses the 3 from the corner. Offensive rebound falls to Denisha Stallworth. Fouls on Tracy Tanner, her second. They need to be careful right now. Auburn already with 17 fouls, LaChina.
During Kentucky's time off in this last week, they worked on offense versus the zone. And we've seen them take Mostly threes in the last few possessions in the half court versus the zone. I'd like to see them working around, maybe get more high post action, working to the short corner. Matthew Mitchell told us there's several ways you can do it. And it looks like they're not going to be able to shoot them out of the zone because their three's not falling. They got to find a way.
Kentucky 0 for 7 from three-point range in this game, 4 of 19 from the field. Parker working against O'Neal, called for the reach in there. That's her second. Janae Thompson has two personal fouls. So now both point guards with 2 fouls.
Yeah, a lot of touching, a lot of fouls in this game for both teams, and that is because of the way they are playing and attacking.
Davis with the finish for Auburn.
This is a great start for Auburn, considering the fact that you are missing Hasina Muhammad, a preseason second-team All-SEC selection.
My mistake there. It was just 1 personal foul thus far on Jen O'Neal. Bad accounting. So she's safe to stay on the floor right now, and she will be defending the freshman Megan Tucker.
Leah Sidney just picked up a foul. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Kentucky fall back into just a half-court defense. It's dangerous when you've got foul trouble to continue to pressure in the backcourt.
16 fouls for the Wildcats, 7 for the Tigers. Tanner working baseline, loses the ball, but Auburn will maintain possession with 16 seconds on the shot clock. Montgomery working her way into the lane. Denied by Stallworth. Just looking for somebody to distribute it to. Pulls out of the lane. Denisha's begging for it down on the blocks, LaChina. Goss with the kick out. Walker. Short. Auburn ball.
Very good defensive possession by Auburn. They're holding teams to 36% shooting from the field. They got back in transition, and then they just stood their ground. They are long. They're active in whatever defense they're playing, and Terry Williams-Flournoy believes in switching up defenses during dead balls, timeouts, out of bounds, doesn't matter. She'll change it up.
Firking across. Montgomery with the finish. Cross-court pass. Stallworth, nothing on the roll. Steal, Megan Tucker has Jen O'Neal to beat. And that lefty does it again. No arc to her layup, LaChina, but it manages to find the bottom of the basket.
Team lefty. Megan Tucker likes to go left, and you have to force her to use her right hand, but she's so fast in transition, you don't even have a chance. Jen O'Neal, as we discussed some of the foul trouble, has to get back and just extend her arms. You don't want to foul in that situation with your backcourt already struggling.
Auburn with the 25.
Kentucky's moving the basketball around against the zone defense. Auburn very aggressive.
Nice pass to Castine Evans.
And good patience, and that's what they have to do. Kentucky needs to be patient. I would rather than get a shot clock violation at this point, moving the basketball around and looking for the open, than to take a bad shot.
25-14, Auburn advantage. Megan Tucker with the drive, blocked by Denisha Stallworth.
Stallworth is getting busy in there defensively.
Goss can't hit, a little too fast. Usually a shot she makes in her sleep. Auburn answers with an empty layup on the other end.
Foul number 34 of Auburn, Peyton Davis, third personal foul.
Foul charge to Peyton Davis, her third.
Denisha Stallworth has been getting back to contest in transition. And it has helped Kentucky to keep Auburn from scoring at that fast pace coming out of the backcourt.
Keone Parker checks back in for Auburn, spelling Megan Tucker. Samari Walker prepared to shoot free throws. Transfer out of Connecticut. She's been so outstanding for Kentucky, you almost forget that she wore a different uniform to begin her collegiate career.
She's so strong. I hear people say she's undersized all the time, and she is 6'1", but she doesn't play like it.
No.
She plays with so much size. She's relentless on the board, leading the league with rebounding at 6'1". is outstanding. And it says more about her mentality than it does her physical size.
And her athleticism. Putting yourself in position fundamentally, it takes the brains and the body to do that. First personal on Denisha Stallworth. We've already seen her blocking prowess on display in this game, and that's one thing that Coach Mitchell told us she was a little slow to respond from. Denisha Stallworth had arthroscopic surgery on her left knee back on December 11th, missed 5 games following that, and slowly but surely returning back into her game shape. Sometimes it's the intricacies, like where to be on a block shot, that takes the longest to get back to.
Yeah, Matthew Mitchell told us he hasn't been able to play as much full court defense as he would like because they have been missing Denisha Stallworth, and even now that she's back, she's got to get that timing back, and he just said how important she is at the power forward spot to what they do defensively in the full court. So that's been tough, considering that that's their identity.
5 blocks in this game for the Wildcats. They need to get their offense going against this tough Auburn D. Little indecision costs Castine Evans. Turnover Kentucky, they're 6th.
Kentucky is facing a team that wants to do what they want to do defensively, is make you think, make you play fast, make things crazy and frenetic. Auburn is showing a lot of activity in this first half.
And Auburn's tough at home. Good crowd out here for NFL Championship Sunday. Capers, free throw extended, can't hit, but she gets the ball back. She tries anyway. Samari Walker is there. Walker with the kick to Evans. Castine finally hits the first 3 for the Kentucky Wildcats.
And that's the shot you need to fall. You hit from the outside, all of a sudden Auburn has to extend their defense, and maybe it opens up a driving lane or two. But that's a big shot.
And then Castine Evans with the steal just picked Brandy Montgomery's pocket. The feed back to Asia Bishop. She's got that soft touch around the basket. Now Auburn wants a timeout as the Wildcats have responded with a little run.
You can see why Matthew Mitchell has missed his senior, Castine Evans. She missed their game against Missouri, but he said all week she's been looking better and better. She has gotten more healthy, and that last sequence happened because of her. She hit an outside shot. She came down on the other side and created a steal.
Kentucky's depth has been a hallmark of this successful stretch. three-pointers help as well. 27-20, Auburn advantage.
Jim is 38, mortgage, married, 3 great kids. He wants to protect his family with a $500,000 term life insurance policy. What do you think it'll cost him? $100 a month? 60? 40? Actually, none of the above. Jim can get a $500,000 policy from a highly rated insurer for under $19 a month. His secret? SelectQuote. SelectQuote is impartial. They'll comparison shop the pick of insurance companies like these to give you a choice of your best prices. SelectQuote has great savings on term life for women, too. Jim's wife, Deidre, can get a $500,000 policy for under $16 a month. SelectQuote has helped make term life insurance affordable for hundreds of thousands of people since 1985. How about you? Just call this number or go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
That's you anyway, right?
Oh, I know, but trust me, I'm prone to. There you go. That's perfect.
How about that, girl?
That's good.
How's that working for us? We're just an amalgamation of.
Well, see, listen, the soda situation is not my fault. Look at all this.
Welcome back. Next week, we're in Oxford, Mississippi at the Tad Pad. Ah, the rivalry. Number 14, LSU at Ole Miss. An opportunity to see some outstanding seniors trying to shine. Tyrese Plaisance for LSU, John Kinney. And how about for the Rebels of China, one of my favorite players, Valencia McFarland.
She
the
is
mightiest
fast.
heart in the league.
She
fast.
is quick, fast,
Great
aggressive.
defender. LSU, one of the 4 one-loss teams in the league, all looking up to the 4-0 Texas A&M Aggies. 27-20, Kentucky on an 8-2 run. The last 2 minutes, 17 seconds to cut into Auburn's lead.
Man-to-man by the Kentucky Wildcats.
Shot clock under 5 for Tanner. Slices and dices.
That's just too easy. I thought that Kentucky would be able to make Auburn work for a score in the half court.
Goss for 3. After that drought from three-point range, starting to feast.
If you don't want to play against that zone, which has caused Kentucky trouble, continue to hit threes, and Terry Williams-Flinoy will have to make some decisions. That's just a good wide-open shot, and that's what happens sometimes when you gamble in your zone and you're trapping. Someone gets loose for a three-point shot.
To Kentucky's credit, when Tyrese Tanner drove the basketball, there were 4 seconds on the shot clock, so it wasn't that easy. But to finish after shutting them down for 25 seconds, that's the disheartening piece if you're Kentucky. Tanner fouled on the jump shot from the baseline.
Foul number 13 at Kentucky. Bria Goss.
Second personal foul for Bria Goss.
Tyrese Tanner here just sizes up the defense. I love the way she uses the ball fake. Whether or not you reach for it, your eyes are automatically drawn to the ball, and it gives her a chance to create some space.
Tyrese Tanner has led Auburn in scoring in back-to-back seasons, leading them now almost 16.5 per game. Also the leading rebounder with 6.6 boards a game.
She said she's in the best shape she's been in her career. She said Terry Williams-Flinoy wants her to be prepared to press and pressure the entire game if that's necessary. So she's had to give in to some preseason sprints and workouts that she wasn't used to, but she said she feels great, and she was looking forward to the opportunity to play more wing today with Hasina Muhammad out.
Bernicia Pinkett has checked in for Kentucky. Kicks it out to Evans.
Look at how much attention there is on ball side.
And the shot clock was at 2 before Kentucky finally threw it away. 7th turnover for the Wildcats.
And that's the right idea versus the zone. I like Asia Bishop catching it in the short corner and making that pass over the defense. That would have been a wide open 3, but she's got to make a better pass.
Probably the message right now from Coach Mitchell. Tanner with the miss. Montgomery tried to keep it alive. Some creative help from Denisha Stallworth down on the deck. And a travel called. As the Wildcats continue to feast and famine. Some stretches where they're poised and patient, and others where turnovers come in little bursts. Stays here. Denisha Stallworth got a little too friendly before Tracy Tanner intercepted that pass from her sister.
Well, there's a battle going on down low, and the strength of Tracy Tanner, which is where she has improved. This is why we see better numbers from her. She uses her strength and her body, loves the weight room to get position down low, and Stallworth got caught out of position there.
32-23, Auburn advantage. Pinkett, Evans, O'Neal in the backcourt for Kentucky with Bishop and Walker up front. Nice pass. One of the best high-low passes in the league, Samari Walker.
Great execution. When the ball was tipped, Samari Walker still kept her wits about her and makes a nice pass.
Pestering hands of Jen O'Neal. Will she be rewarded on the other end? Absolutely. So again, we see Kentucky go hot, go cold. They're hot right now. Five-point advantage, Auburn. Katie Firking checks in. Brandon Montgomery gets a rest. The freshman Montgomery leading Auburn in minutes played, over 28 a game.
And Auburn will play deep into their bench. Both of these teams had great depth. Kentucky more experience in their depth, but Terry Williams-Flournoy will play 11 players, and they have to.
Inside to Tanner again. Outstanding passing.
Just great execution to get that ball to Tracy Tanner down low. Good cut to the basketball here by Tracy Tanner. The screening action by Auburn is allowing her to get free. There's no help on that backside. That's just what it is.
Tracy Tanner leading Auburn's charge with 10 points. 8 for Tyrese, 8 as well for Brandy Montgomery, who's taking a breath.
And I don't know if Asia Bishop tweaked that ankle. We didn't see exactly what happened. I hope she's okay. She's been able to use her size to make some things happen this afternoon.
7 points for Bishop as well on a day when Kentucky's offense has been struggling.
There's a timeout on the floor, and your score, Auburn 34,
as Asia Bishop
Kentucky
gets examined.
27.
Auburn 34-27 with the advantage. There's a timeout on the floor.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS? The IRS is relentless and will collect from you. They can garnish your wages, levy your bank account, even seize your assets. You have rights. If you owe the IRS at least $10,000 in back taxes, we can help. Don't wait. We will contact the IRS on your behalf, make arrangements, reduce the amount you owe if you qualify, and we can help stop collection calls. Our qualified CPAs and tax negotiators know the law and know how to get your situation under control. Stop paying penalties and stop the stress. We know how to take care of the situation and get you a good night's rest. Don't wait until it's too late. Not addressing the issue can bring on forceful IRS collection. We are here to help. We have saved our clients lots of money. The IRS won't quit. Get help. We will contact the IRS on your behalf, make arrangements, reduce the amount you owe if you qualify, and we can help stop collection calls. The consultation is free. Call Fix Your Tax now.
Going off, right?
Going off.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, sure. Gosh, he's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, no one even noticed. It's called laying out, Kara. That's what all that happened. It's all. It wasn't.
All right. (34-27), Auburn's lead has been whittled to 7. Kentucky has scored in bunches, and the Wildcats have found a little stretch right now of success in China.
Well, they started to get loose, and a lot of it was the three-point shot. Castine Evans, your senior Samari Walker, your senior Castine Evans, making plays. The nice pass there again by Samari. She has been very active in the last few minutes as Kentucky has been able to get back into this. But that's what you need from your senior leaders in a game like this where things are slow to come around. You have to get them to step up and make something happen.
Wildcats started 0 for 8. They've improved that shooting percentage now to 37% in this first half.
Zone defense now 2-3 by Matthew Mitchell's group.
Tyrese Tanner rattles in the baseline jumper.
She has shown us a variety.
And you knew that she needed to bring that kind of offensive game today with Hasina Muhammad sitting out. Jalea Sidney with the putback off the miss.
If Asia Bishop is not available, we don't know if she is or not at this point, but Jalea Sidney would be someone they're going to depend on to maybe play more minutes than she's used to.
Costly turnover for Auburn. Against this pressure defense, you want to turn the ball over when somebody hassles you into a turnover. Just an errant pass there from Megan Tucker.
Freshman mistake.
Happens.
And one that when you're mentally fatigued from the pressure that Kentucky has been putting on, you can make those kind of mistakes.
Harper runs out of room. Walker, cross court to O'Neal for 3. And now everybody's hitting their three-pointers, LaChina.
Perfect zone execution. Kentucky has gotten comfortable and found some scoring against Auburn's zone. That time, again, going to the short corner, face up, skip pass for the 3.
4-point advantage to the Tigers. Just under 2.5 minutes in this first half. Tyrese Tanner kicks it out. Brandon Montgomery couldn't get anything going there. Tries to just keep the shot clock alive. O'Neal almost lost a handle. Nice recovery by number 0. And that's a charge against Samari Walker.
Anytime you lower your shoulder and displace the defender, that is going to be called an offensive foul. Samari Walker with the right idea, but right there, she lowered the shoulder, and Tyrese Tanner had established herself as a legal defender, facing the basketball, shoulder squared, so she's in position, and Samari just knocks her over.
Tucker trying to run the offense. Get something going here. Montgomery blocked by Sydney. Who wants the basketball? Beverly Roberts with the signal.
Checking in for Kentucky, number 32, Evans.
There's a clock issue. So now 1:29 left in the first half. Reset the shot clock to 29 seconds. Auburn with a little more time to work. Bernicia Pinkett checked out there, and Castine Evans checked back in for Kentucky. Wildcats defense is really locked down. Tanner open baseline, too much. Offensive rebound for Montgomery. Tanner sees her open in the corner, begging for it. Short. And a foul on the rebound.
Foul number 32 of Kentucky, Castine Evans.
Castine Evans
For the Tigers, number 32.
called for the foul on the rebound. Tough to see from that angle. Perhaps this one will help us. Just a little aggressive, some bodies flying, and Tyrese Tanner at the free throw line hits the first.
Also checking in for the Tigers, number 35, Capers, number 44, Tracy Tanner.
Capers checks back in for Auburn as Tyrese Tanner and Katie Firking take a seat. Tracy Tanner takes a seat. Watch Tyrese miss the second free throw. These Tanner sisters, tough to keep them straight. They're both playing so well in this first half for the Auburn Tigers. Under a minute now. Wildcats working it around. Renee Harper, one of the fab freshmen for Kentucky. She's a lefty, switches in the air. 3-point advantage, Auburn. Auburn being patient. About a 13-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Erased by Jen O'Neill's steal. Harper with the finish, and one.
Great transition there by the Kentucky Wildcats as they have started to gain some momentum in this game. They have closed this lead down to just 1 point for Auburn. They've been down as many as 13 in the first half. The speed, getting out, running. Kentucky is starting to really get some energy in the open court.
Harper cannot convert the three-point play, but close that Auburn lead to only 1 point. Tigers need to finish off this half with some positive momentum, LaChina. Down to 6 seconds.
Auburn needs a good possession here.
That's the end of the first half of play.
Auburn cannot get one final basket, so the Tigers with a 1-point advantage heading to the break, 37-36. The largest Auburn lead was 13 points, but Kentucky whittled that down, started to hit some three-pointers, make a run, and do it with their defense. LaChina standing by with Coach,
you had as big of a lead as 13 points here in the first half. What do you like about the way your team is playing this half?
I thought we were being aggressive earlier. They went to a 2-3 zone and we started to stand around a little bit. We got to go back with the same intensity and the same aggressiveness that we had earlier part of the game.
Kentucky was able to hit some threes in the half court, which really loosened things up for them on the offensive end. How can you take that away from them in the second half?
We got to find the three-point shooters a lot sooner. You know, we're in the zone. They just got to move on the flight of the ball and get out to the shooters quicker.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
LaChina, thank you. Auburn led at 1 point, 25-12, but Kentucky finishes the half on a 24-12 run. There you see the 1-point difference. Kentucky getting it done in transition and from the three-point line to cut into Auburn's lead.
Blue. It's where dreams live, where visions of tomorrow thrive. And for those who dare to live in this space, those who believe they are destined to do something, to make something, to solve something, there's nothing in your way, if you can see it.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, this may be the most important phone call you'll ever make.
I owed $50,000 in taxes. But listen.
Your tax problem is settled. You only owe $8,400.
What a great message.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, then you owe it to yourself to call this number. Let our experts help guide you through the process of negotiating a tax settlement. Call this number or go to tax10000.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Auburn University Tiger Paws. Max Fitness in Auburn is the proud sponsor of the Tiger Paws. Continuing with your halftime entertainment, he is a former Harlem Globetrotter, a 4-time Guinness World Record holder, has been featured on The Late Show with David Letterman, Sports Center, the NBA on TNT, Slam Magazine, and has been dubbed by ESPN as the world's most amazing dribbler.
Welcome back to Auburn Arena. It is halftime, so all the fans are out enjoying some snacks. You're inside with us. Kara Capuano and LaChina Robinson with you. Auburn with the 37-36 advantage. And what we saw there, LaChina, was the Tigers, they had control early in that first half, but Kentucky patiently eventually started working to a nice little 24-12 run to end the half and make it a 1-point game.
Yeah, what happens sometimes when you're playing against the zone is you start to get comfortable, and we saw Kentucky do that. They found some spots where they could get shots, and that built momentum.
One key shot belonged to the senior Castine Evans. She shattered that ice-cold glacier that had built up from beyond the three-point line. Castine Evans, not only a senior leader on the court, LaChina, she's a great leader off the court for the entire Wildcats athletic community.
Well, I know firsthand that it's not easy to be a student and an athlete. You have a lot of demands on your time in the classroom with your books, but also with your team on the court. And Castine Evans has found, within the constraints of her college education, the time to make a difference in the world. This is a young woman who has played whatever role Matthew Mitchell has needed her throughout the course of her career, 1 through 4. And she does it in her service as well. She has really gotten into the community, worked not only in Lexington, but had a chance to take a trip to Ethiopia, where she really had a life-changing experience. She helped to build for the community. She delivered meals to patients that have leprosy. She worked with children. And this is someone whose spirit just lends itself to giving. And it's impressive during a time where we have so many demands on our lives, Kara, you do, I do, where she has decided to not only get in the community, but go back and create her own nonprofit organization and has continued to live the legacy of service.
Castine Evans in our Sunday Spotlight, a WBCA All-State Good Works nominee for all of the work with her nonprofit called Shooting at Success. Hopefully her teammates will be able to carry that torch for her when she graduates. We'll be right back.
This is an academic experience where great minds thrive.
This is affordable, innovative and beautiful housing for families in rural communities.
This is my true, faithful family.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS? The IRS is relentless and will collect from you. They can garnish your wages and levy your bank account. You have rights. If you owe the IRS at least $10,000 in back taxes, we can help. Our qualified CPAs and tax negotiators know the law and know how to get your situation under control. We will contact the IRS on your behalf, make arrangements, reduce the amount you owe if you qualify, and we can help stop collection calls. The consultation is free. Call Fix Your Tax now.
We don't want that to happen.
We don't want that. Got it. Welcome back to Auburn. You see the beautiful Coaches Trophy, the Crystal Football brought to the Plains by Cam Newton and the 2010 National Champions. Almost had a second Crystal Football here on the Plains this year. Kara Capuano and LaChina Robinson back with you now at Auburn Arena. And LaChina, we spoke earlier about all the parity in the Southeastern Conference. A lot of games going on in this time window. Let's take a look at some of these scores from around the league. Want to point out the final there, and this is the SEC in a nutshell. Georgia at Florida. Lady Bulldogs get the 68-62 win. You see Vanderbilt right now managing LSU, but early in that second half, South Carolina, Alabama just underway. Also, Texas A&M trying to hold court tonight against their former Minister of Defense, Vic Schaefer. He used to be basically the defensive coordinator for Gary Blair, and he's at the helm of Mississippi State now. So many great. It's just fun to look at the scoreboard in the SEC every Thursday and Sunday. 6 teams in the top 25 this week from the Southeastern Conference. 2 teams remain unbeaten, LaChina, in women's basketball. UConn and Notre Dame, and the Irish will be tested at Tennessee tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's going to be a great contest. Muffet McGraw is going to have her troops ready, but the Lady Vols with an opportunity to do something pretty big if they can give the Fighting Irish their first loss of the season.
And during We Bat Pat Week, that's when the Lady Vols really love to shine for their former coach, Pat Summitt. Much more from the half to come here from Auburn Arena, where the Tigers are hanging on to a 1-point edge.
It's actually been a dream of mine to win this award, the McWhorter, because it really symbolizes what I wanted to be, and that's a scholar athlete. I really just love the way that Alabama not only put a lot of attention on athletics, but also academics. I'm also really thankful to my parents. I have a great family who really has supported me from day one and has always encouraged me to do my best at everything. It's really an awesome time to be a student athlete in the SEC.
Listen up, America!
Listen up, America. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. But here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans. And yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the health insurance hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
Yep. Here in Auburn Arena on Thursday, January 30th. Tip-off time is set for 6 p.m. Host Texas A&M. Halftime will feature the Auburn Got Talent student competition. For tickets, call 855-282-2010 or visit aubtix.com. Tigers Unlimited is honored to recognize the members of Wings for their generous contributions to women's athletics at Auburn University. Wings supports and promotes our female student athletes through mentoring, career planning, and leadership development activities that further enhance their overall experience at Auburn. For more information on how to join, please contact Tigers Unlimited or email wings@auburn.edu.
Welcome back to Auburn Arena. Might I recommend the chicken tenders? Tigers with a 37-36 lead over number 10 Kentucky. The most storied conference in college athletics will live on, fans, on a new network. Tradition is finding a new home. The SEC network launches August of this year. For more information, go to getsecnetwork.com. Kara Capuano and LaChina Robinson back with you now. LaChina, one thing about Kentucky, you know a team with that many upperclassmen is going to hang around, and that's certainly what the Wildcats did.
Yeah, Castine Evans and Samari Walker in particular really asserted themselves in this game, but it started off rough. They were 0 for 8 from the field facing this Auburn defense. Kentucky really struggled early to get comfortable. And you can see some easy shots in the paint just takes away from your team's momentum. But then it started to click, and they found some space against the smothering D. And in transition, they built some energy and momentum. And on the other end for Auburn, they had as much as a 13-point lead. That is down to 1 at the half, but you have to love the attack of the Tigers. Terry Williams-Flournoy had her team ready and prepared for the pressure of Kentucky, and they put a little pressure on of their own, contesting shots, just being there, getting in the way, using their long arms and their quickness and athleticism to disrupt Kentucky.
The stats pretty similar, but Kentucky with the advantage from beyond the arc. Auburn doesn't have a lot of long-distance shooters. The difference, the depth for Kentucky, 22 points from the bench.
And 11 players played for Matthew Mitchell in the first half.
Looking forward to bringing you the start of the second half from Auburn, where the Tigers are going to try to mount this upset against the number 10 team in the country.
Jim is 38, mortgage, married, 3 great kids. He wants to protect his family with a $500,000 term life insurance policy. What do you think it'll cost him? $100 a month? 60? 40? Actually, none of the above. Jim can get a $500,000 policy from a highly rated insurer for under $19 a month. His secret? SelectQuote. SelectQuote is impartial. They'll comparison shop the pick of insurance companies like these to give you a choice of your best prices. SelectQuote has great savings on term life for women, too. Jim's wife, Deidre, can get a $500,000 policy for under $16 a month. SelectQuote has helped make term life insurance affordable for hundreds of thousands of people since 1985. How about you? Just call this number or go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Welcome back. A beautiful outside shot of Jordan-Hare, home of the SEC football champions, the Auburn Tigers. Auburn Tigers women's basketball team with a 37-36 lead over number 10 Kentucky as we get ready to start this second half. balanced scoring really for both squads. Jen O'Neill and Asia Bishop with 7 apiece to pace Kentucky. Meantime, for Auburn, it has been the Tanner sisters, in part because one of the big stories of today's game for Auburn, Hasina Muhammad and her over 12 points a game on the bench. She is out for an undisclosed period of time with an injury. So Tyrese, 11, Tracy Tanner with 8, and again, it is balanced scoring as well for Auburn. But Peyton Davis, who got the start instead of Muhammad, really started strong but hampered by foul troubles. 3 personals kept her on the bench late in that first half.
And this is going to be an important time, the beginning of the second half for Terry Williams-Flanoy, young team, to come out with the same type of energy. Can they match what they had to start the game out of the locker room?
Doss in the corner to Thompson. She was wide open for her own shot, but that's a classic point guard with the feet.
Janae Thompson spent a lot of time in the first half on the bench. She does start the game at point guard. Jennifer O'Neill had to come in and, as usual, did a very fine job. But let's see how Thompson adjusts.
The feed inside to Tracy Tanner, and one.
Tracy Tanner has been able to get in position on the interior whenever she wants it. She uses her body to post up so high. She gets her defender all the way up to the free throw line, and then the help is just too late. She's that good at finishing around the rim. You got to do your work early, but it's difficult to help when you let when you post your defense up so high at the high post.
Tanner with the 3-point play. The Tanner sisters have accounted for 53 of Auburn's last 101 points. That's quite a tandem, scoring 50% of over 100.
Well, as we were talking to them yesterday, Kara, they told us how much they've enjoyed playing together. They are both proud of each other and the effort they put out on the floor. And Tyrese Tanner, being a tough big sister, said, I'm very proud of Tracy, what you've done, but she can do more. I'm excited about seeing her take it up another level.
10 seconds on the shot clock now for the Wildcats. Shot clock at 5. Thompson sees it. The feed to Walker. Short, but Samari Walker hustles for the offensive rebound. She'll head to the free throw line.
Janae Thompson is really good at making things happen towards the end of the shot clock. You thought she didn't have anything available, but she's very slippery. She found a crease and then got a last-second pass to Samari Walker, who missed it but continued to work on the boards.
3rd personal foul on Tracy Tanner puts Samari at the line.
Samari Walker has had to carry the load when you consider the fact that Denisha Stallworth was out with injury. She had to make up for a lot of that presence on the interior. And as you said, Kara, she's often forgotten about. She does all the dirty work.
40-40, the first tie in this game since the 2-2 mark. Where is the answer for Tracy Tanner, LaChina?
You can't let Tracy Tanner get 2 feet under the basket. Denisha Stallworth's got to do her work early.
Walker, pestered and fouled and frustrated about it. Samari's not used to missing those little chippies inside. And that's the 4th personal foul on Peyton Davis.
Tracy Tanner, look at her, she's straddling the box down low and just turns and put the basketball up. That is too easy. You have to do your work early in the post. Keep her off of the block. Don't even let her get there, because once she does, it's money.
Lene Harper checks in for Kentucky to spell Castine Evans, and a pair in for Auburn as Montgomery and Davis head to the bench. Perkin and Capers in for Auburn with the Tanner sisters and Megan Tucker. Samari Walker, 7 of 8 from the free throw line today. 6 of 8.
That long outlet pass by Auburn is how they've been getting past the Kentucky defense. They're looking up the court and pushing with the pass.
Foul trouble now an issue for the post players of Auburn as Peyton Davis is sitting with 4 and Tracy Tanner is out on the floor with 4.
And that's one of the challenges if you're going to play aggressive defense like these two teams want to do. Do you have the depth to stay out of foul trouble? And if I had to look at the two rosters, Kentucky definitely has more depth, more talented depth, more experienced depth. But that's not a good sign with Tracy Tanner having 4 fouls.
Nice little touch inside for Denisha Stallworth. Matthew Mitchell telling us she really turned a corner mentally this week, able to get more conditioning after practice, more reps. Said where they missed her most has been defensively, but they'll take her offense like that too.
That's a wild shot by Tyrese Tanner. She's got to be able to make a jump shot and jump stop and pass the ball there.
Stallworth, jumper, a little much. Aggressive rebound attempt for Harper.
I know that Matthew Mitchell wants Denisha Stallworth to get her defensive edge back, but it's a pretty nice present to have a back-to-the-basket post on the inside that you can go to and get scoring when you need it. You saw her numbers there. She's not quite back to her average in the 3 games that she has played, but this is an All-American candidate. She makes a huge difference out on the floor.
Denisha Stallworth on the preseason watch list of pretty much every major award in the country.
And she has really fit into this system for Matthew Mitchell very well.
A couple quick fouls for Cabriana Capers. She's got 3 and the team has 5.
Give it to her.
She's begging for it. Harper being hounded by Tucker. Thompson baseline, little floater, fouled on the shot by Katie Furkin.
In that possession, we saw Kentucky doing some screening of the zone. Ball moves around, and Janae Thompson is very quick. Takes one dribble and elevates for that shot. But the patience, if you notice, Kara, different level of patience against this Auburn defense for Kentucky. They are waiting for good shots.
The sophomore out of Chicago went to Whitney Young High School out there right now with one of her high school teammates, Renee Harper, number 15. They played high school ball together just 1 year apart, in and out on the second.
They had their jerseys retired at Whitney Young when the team went to go play against DePaul in Chicago in December.
Auburn works it into Tyrese Tanner. A couple players go up for the offensive rebound. Capers comes up with it. This is that time that Auburn needs to hunker down and not let Kentucky pull away, LaChina.
They need a score. With Tracy Tanner on the bench, Tyrese has got to provide some scoring here.
Shot clock at 10 for the Tigers. I think Tyrese knows what you're talking about. Realized she was going to have to shoulder the offensive load in that possession.
And I thought she may settle for the jump shot, but she didn't. She got into the lane and was physical about creating contact. That's a very good call, because it would have been easy for her to just try to spot up. Bria Goss did a great job for most of that possession, but you can't body or touch the ball handler.
Third personal foul for Goss. She'll check out as Jen O'Neill checks back in.
And that has not been a favorable matchup one-on-one for Bria Goss, and some of that is because Tyrese Tanner is 6'1" and long. Bria Goss is 5'10", and Tanner's just been able to shoot over her.
It's the second. 1-point advantage, Kentucky. Not a lot of offense on the floor right now for Auburn, but a tenacious defensive team. Harper, shut down, but finds Stallworth. Great look.
Yeah, perfect read. Wait till the zone shifts, find the space.
Renee Harper, number 5 overall, ranking by ESPN Hoop Girls. That's the highest recruit ever to select Kentucky for her college. Okay, the scouting report right now, if you're Kentucky, LaChina, is, hey, Tyrese Tanner is going to be getting the basketball and trying to do something with it.
There's a timeout.
Kentucky with the 3-point advantage. Tyrese Tanner single-handedly trying to keep Auburn in this game.
I travel a lot for my work with swimming, and when I come home, I want a place to unwind. I bought my first endless pool over 15 years ago. In this newest endless pool, it's better than ever. The current is perfect for swimming any stroke. Crank it up and you can swim race pace, or back it off and just relax. Swimming or water walking and running is a wonderful way to exercise. The endless pool takes non-impact to another level. As I get older, keeping in shape is more important than ever. With an endless pool, I have a pool and a spa all in one. Hi, I'm Rowdy Gaines, 3-time Olympic gold medalist. I've been swimming in my endless pools for 15 years, and you can take it from me, it has it all.
Oh, thank you, sir.
It's a nice big table here at least, you know. I like that.
Not big enough. Not big enough. I didn't spill anything. The A2 came over here and knocked over my coat. And Kara looked at me like I spilled it. You know what?
So always fill up with Texaco with Teflon for great performance you can count on. Texaco with Teflon to keep humming along.
One of the traditional landmarks near the Auburn campus, Toomer's Corner. Now that's where you get your delicious lemonade, and then kitty corner to that across the street is where the Toomer Oaks reside. And that is delicious lemonade, trust me. Georgia gets the win at Florida, just the second SEC victory for the Lady Bulldogs, and a big win for Andy Lander's team. Vanderbilt still leading LSU, LaChina.
Yeah, Jasmine Lister has 14 points, but some balanced scoring there for Melanie Balcom. And going back to that Georgia game, you know, when you want to win on the road in the tough SEC, you need leadership. Erica Ford with 23 points in that game. She emerged off of the bench for some much-needed scoring for Andy Landers.
Erica Ford, one of those players that can just kind of quietly, all of a sudden, fill up a stat sheet.
And it's really just come on late in her career. You know, sometimes it's when you have to, as we've seen with Tyrese Tanner. She's playing some of her best basketball in her senior season. Always been a contributor, but you kind of find that stride and that sense of urgency.
Again, the lead whittled to 1 for the Wildcats. Oh my! Call away from the ball against Denisha Stallworth, her third personal. See if Auburn can capitalize on that empty Kentucky possession.
Well, Kentucky hasn't quite pulled away yet.
Harper, push and pace, has O'Neal on the wing. I'm not going to say I called that, but I saw it about 2 seconds before it developed. Jen O'Neill, when she gets time to camp out there, look out.
Good dribble penetration into the lane and spreading the floor. The defense gets sucked into the lane right here, and that leaves Jennifer O'Neill wide open. She's just as quiet, spotting up outside the three-point line. And it's all net.
Tried to thread a pass into Harper. Got away from Kentucky. Tyrese Tanner kind of settled for a free throw extended jump shot in the last possession. See if the Tigers are a little more patient here. Tracy Tanner and Peyton Davis both on the bench with 4 personal fouls. Shot clock under 10. And there's that freedom of movement rearing its head, LaChina.
Contact on the ball handler. All you can have is a measure-up touch, and that's it. They compare it to touching a hot stove. Just a quick touch, measure up, and then your hands have to be off. Your body has to be off of the ball handler.
Asia Bishop checks back in, did tweak her ankle in that first half. She's one of the leading scorers for Kentucky in that first half. Nice inbounds play to Tyrese Tanner.
And when she is playing on the inside with her height and matched up with a guard, she has the advantage.
Foul called on Keani Parker. Just her first personal.
It's hard to figure out how you're going to match up with Tyrese Tanner. We mentioned the injury with Hasina Muhammad means that Tanner is having to play more of a perimeter position. Well, that means she's defended by a guard, and that's a mismatch because she has length at 6'1".
Tyrese Tanner leading all scorers, 16. Make it 18 for number 32 in orange.
And then how do you lose her? She's the leading scorer. You have to know where she is.
She's got that stride, that first step to the baskets. When she commits to the drive, look out. 3 in the key called on Kentucky.
And this is what we mean. At the top of the hour, we talked about this league, how competitive it is, unpredictable it is. Here it is, the Kentucky Wildcats on the road. And Auburn showing a lot of pride here in their home venue.
Number 10, Kentucky, and Auburn tied at 49s. LaChina Robinson and Kara Capuano with you on a beautiful Sunday afternoon at Auburn. Keani. Parker can't hit. Thompson with the kick out to O'Neill. A little long on the 3, but Kentucky kicks it out and reloads. Ooh, Shamari Walker was wide open. She couldn't hit it. So the freshman cleans it up.
Lene Harper's giving them some really good minutes. Matthew Mitchell put the freshman in early in the second half, and she has been physical, aggressive. She's played bigger than her size. When you have depth, there's a lot of different places you can go.
Third personal on Katie Firking. 3-point play for Harper.
The other thing we've seen here in the second half, Kara, is how easy Janae Thompson makes things for this team. She has just made some simple passes. She's made plays in the zone that have helped everyone else out.
Samari Walker blocks Brandy Montgomery. Wildcats on the run. O'Neill for 3. Harper with the rebound. Right back up with it. Ooh, she's got some moxie, the lefty.
She's strong. She is strong. That's what separates you as a freshman at this level.
30-second timeout called by Auburn. This will be a full.
Auburn calls the timeout. Coach Flo, Terry Williams-Lenoir does not want to let this one get away.
The idea is simple. Each
Randy Montgomery blocks. Samari Walker gets it started. And how about this for a finish? The freshman getting it done.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, this may be the most important phone call you'll ever make.
I owed $50,000 in taxes. But listen.
Your tax problem is settled. You only owe $8,400.
What a great message.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, then you owe it to yourself to call this number. Let our experts help guide you through the process of negotiating a tax settlement. Call this number or go to tax10000.com.
Listen up, America!
Listen up, America. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. But here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans. And yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the health insurance hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
No way. Tracy's back. Welcome back to Auburn Arena. Kentucky has built a 5-point advantage over the Tigers. Quite a contrast to last year's game. And we're flashing way back to February 28th of 2010. This is the final women's basketball game played across the street at Beard Eves Memorial Coliseum. Adia Mathis led Kentucky with 20 points, but the sharp shooting of the junior, Allie Smalley, team high 26. That's her number 5 as Auburn wins 65-53, an upset on that day, and the Tigers would love to snap a 5-game win streak now in the series for Kentucky today. You see Tracy Tanner is checked back in, and that is the costliest of fouls.
That is just not a smart one. Tracy Tanner is put back into the game with 4 fouls and fouls 94 feet from the opponent's basket.
What an unfortunate, inauspicious ending for Tanner LaShina.
She was frustrated because she missed the layup and then just reaches for the basketball. Only a sophomore, Tracy Tanner, and still growing into her own, and she's going to learn a lesson from that one.
Tracy Tanner's day ends 15 points, 5 rebounds. As Sydney hits the first. Jalea Sidney. We asked Coach Mitchell to name kind of an unsung hero of this team, and he is all about distributing the love around the roster, but Sidney, he singled out just for her work ethic, how hard she works every day, doesn't get a ton of minutes, but is definitely being more productive in a reserve role this season.
Yeah, he said she doesn't complain, just works hard every day, does whatever she's asked. Low maintenance players, every program needs them.
Coach's favorite kind. Tanner fouled on the shot.
Also number 12 of Kentucky, Jalea Sidney.
That the second personal foul on Sidney.
Tyrese Tanner at the line for the Tigers, shooting 2.
I have just been extremely impressed with Tyrese Tanner, not just today, but just watching her career. And how she can attack from so many different places on the floor. Matthew Mitchell told us he was concerned. He said, that's a very good-looking player I've been watching on tape, and how he was going to slow her down. And I don't know that they have. I think that she has done some slowing down on her own, but whatever shot she's wanted, she's gotten in this game.
She's got 20 points to lead all scorers, LaChina. And the thing is, this young Auburn team with her sister Tracy in foul trouble and Hasina Muhammad out with an injury, she kind of needed somebody else to step up and help her out. I think we're seeing that right now, more of a balance for Kentucky.
Well, we're going to have to see Brandy Montgomery. She has not shown herself since the early minutes of this game. And with Tracy Tanner fouled out, she's going to have to pick up some of the scoring load.
That shot was slightly tipped, Kentucky basketball.
And Bernicia Pinkett is wearing an air cast on her right leg. She's also had some leg injury issues.
Kentucky hanging on with the 4-point edge.
Health insurance is on everybody's mind right now. You either don't have it or you have it and you think it's too expensive. And you probably feel like you don't have any options. We can help. We are InSphere Insurance Solutions. We offer health insurance plans from major carriers nationwide and likely have a plan that can save you money. Whether you're self-employed, on a COBRA plan that's about to expire, or you simply don't have health insurance where you work and you need it, InSphere Insurance Solutions can help you. Our agents will help you find coverage you can afford from great companies like Humana, HealthNet, Aetna, and United Health One. InSphere Insurance Solutions is an authorized agency in all 50 states, including the District of Columbia. Plans may not be available in all states. 800-515-1176. 800-515-1176. 800-515-1176.
Welcome back to Auburn. Tigers trailing 4-4 to number 10 Kentucky right now. Wildcats about to inbound the ball with just 3 seconds left on this shot clock. Jen O'Neal sees that. She's just become so much more poised and confident. She was always going to shoot that shot for you before, LaChina, but now she does it with a different level of grace.
And confidence. And Coach Terry Williams-Flanoy told us at the half, we have got to get to shooters.
Tyrese Tanner continues to lead this Auburn charge, but she needs some help out there. Maybe she'll get it from the young woman managing the ball right now. Brandy Montgomery turns it over. O'Neal has a trailer, decides to set up an offense. Good choice.
And without Tracy Tanner on the floor, Peyton Davis, Kentucky's going to look to attack on the inside, and they should.
Samari Walker in double figures now with 10. Tanner can't answer. Brandy Montgomery, number 10 in orange, 8 points in the first half, 4 of 10 from the floor, scoreless in the second half, has only taken 1 shot.
And Auburn has also not gotten any scoring from their bench. They have 0 bench points. And Kentucky had 31 at that last break. Auburn has depth in their defense, but not on the offensive end in terms of production. A
Another nice finish inside. Samari Walker making it look easy.
Terry Williams-Flanoy has to get Peyton Davis, and she is into the game now. No size on the inside for the Auburn Tigers.
But Davis about to check in with 4 personal fouls. Tracy Tanner just did that and was in for about 2 seconds. That's a huge 3 for the freshman, Katie Firking.
They need her to do that. Versus the zone, Kentucky was in a 2-3. They need her to knock down some shots, loosen things up with the offense.
First 3 of the game for Auburn. O'Neal to the cutting Harper inside.
Moving without the basketball. Lene Harper is having a sensational second half, the freshman.
Peyton Davis still waiting to check in for Auburn. Tigers could certainly use another Firking 3. We were not going to get beyond the long arm of the law there. Julia Sidney. Walker.
And I believe Firking had the same issue again with the restricted area, and she had plenty of time to get outside of it, but just not the awareness. She gets back defensively and once again had that heel inside the restricted area. You've got to rotate over into defensive help early enough to make sure that you are outside of that arc.
Been a lot of rules changes in the last couple of years in women's basketball at the NCAA level.
Well, some have been changes and some are just re-emphasizing rules that have already been in place, like contact on the ball handler, freedom of movement. Those are rules that have been in place, but have not been enforced consistently in an effort to clean up some of the physicality of women's basketball and increase scoring. That's an area of concern this year. But you're right, Carolyn. Between the lower defensive box and the restricted area,
how about the 10-second backcourt rule?
Yep.
You and I have been begging for that for years.
Love it.
Davis fouled. Only inside by Sidney. Her third.
These two teams play so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, these coaches have to be proud of the effort that they play with because they play very difficult defenses, a lot of pressure, a lot of energy. This is the SEC, and Matthew Mitchell we've been used to seeing it. Terry Williams-Flanoy is a coach that had great success at Georgetown, revived that program, and most of these players, or some of these players, aren't hers. Like a Tyrese Tanner, but she's still playing hard for her. And Tyrese told us that they have a great relationship with Coach Terry Williams-Flanoy and that she's like a mother figure, but she pushes him really hard as well, Karen.
Nice hustle by Firking to keep it alive for Auburn. Hands by O'Neal to knock it out of bounds. Fans at home may not recognize a lot of these. Auburn faces 8 newcomers in the form of 6 freshmen and 2 junior college transfers, but Tyrese Tanner leading this team in scoring back-to-back years. We know her. Hasina Muhammad, we know her, but she hasn't been in this game, and I think it could have been a very different game today for Auburn if her scoring presence was out there to complement Tyrese Tanner, even with the foul trouble. Montgomery, too much.
The freshman has lost her touch from the field in the second half.
That's a travel for Stallworth. Part of that too, LaChina. You know how the rigors of conference play set in for these young players. It's the midpoint of the season and the competition ratchets up about tenfold.
Well, and that's why I was impressed with Auburn and how they have started league play, because sometimes freshmen have to get in there and get their feet wet, get comfortable. These freshmen for Auburn performed at a very high level at Mississippi State, at Alabama. But this is a veteran Kentucky squad with lots of weapons. And they can wear you down over time.
Firking, just a little long. Auburn ball. There's a timeout on the floor. Kentucky with the 64-57 advantage over the Tigers. Get your gear. Orange and blue.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS? The IRS is relentless and will collect from you. They can garnish your wages, levy your bank account, even seize your assets. You have rights. If you owe the IRS at least $10,000 in back taxes, we can help. Don't wait. We will contact the IRS on your behalf, make arrangements, reduce the amount you owe if you qualify, and we can help stop collection calls. Our qualified CPAs and tax negotiators know the law and know how to get your situation under control. Stop paying penalties and stop the stress. We know how to take care of the situation and get you a good night's rest. Don't wait until it's too late. Not addressing the issue can bring on forceful IRS collection. We are here to help. We have saved our clients lots of money. The IRS won't quit. Get help. We will contact the IRS on your behalf, make arrangements, reduce the amount you owe if you qualify, and we can help stop collection calls. The consultation is free. Call Fix Your Tax now.
Welcome back. Kentucky with a 64-57 advantage over Auburn. Balanced scoring, a hallmark of this year's version of the Wildcats. 6 players average in double figures. The team has had 9 different leading scorers this year. Jen O'Neill and the freshman Lene Harper leading the way today with 13 each.
Well, at the end of last season, as Brandy Montgomery, the freshman, knocks down a shot for Auburn, but at the end of last season, Matthew Mitchell said we have to get better on the offensive end. So they took time this summer, really worked on their offense, their shooting. They've got players that are shooting career highs. Bernicia Pinkett, Castine Evans, and you saw the balance there. Then you add to that the freshman Lene Harper who comes in and gives you double figures. Then you have a very potent offense, or the ability to be a potent offense.
Lene Harper loves that drive and dish to Samari Walker. That's starting to become one of her trademark moves, at least for this game.
She's seeing the floor. And what happens at this time of the year when you're a freshman is the game starts to slow down. You start to see things that you didn't see early in your freshman year because the game is moving so fast as you were going from high school to college.
Just the second personal foul for Tyrese Tanner, and a foul-filled day for Auburn. Matthew Mitchell told us that Harper has made a commitment to be the kind of player that he loves for Kentucky. Sharing, caring, defense first.
He said there's no doubt that she's going to be successful in this program because she puts in the work. It's just a matter of time.
Samari Walker now with 13 as well, joining O'Neill and Harper. Working with the feed inside to Davis, working on Walker. No call there, and a basket for Peyton Davis.
Peyton Davis has to play big minutes. Auburn's going to have a chance to win this game. She has got to really step up in the absence of Tracy Tanner, who has fouled out. And Hasina Muhammad, you're making up for 2 of the best players production-wise on this team.
That's only 22 points a game, China, between the 2 of them.
Well, not Peyton by herself. But
no, yeah. But I'm saying Hasina and Tracy. Yeah. Boy, Auburn pushed to the defensive limit there, and Kentucky still able to capitalize.
Matthew Mitchell said if Jennifer O'Neill can continue to shoot the way that she did in the second half against Missouri, that will be a good sign for us. She's been hot from outside the three-point line today.
Everybody started off ice cold, but Kentucky recovered nicely, started to hit some threes. Wildcats 6 of 16 from downtown. Season shooting percentage from distance 34%, at 37.5% today.
6 for your last 9, and that's the trouble when you play a zone as Auburn has for much of this game. And what do you do when the other team gets hot from 3? How can you continue to play the defense you want to play, but to get out the shooters as well?
Tanner. Nice play. Senior leadership from number 32 today, Heavens.
Tyrese Tanner told us yesterday, I know we can win this game. And the attitude of your senior leader is reflected in how your team plays, and Auburn has not been afraid for 1 second of this contest.
Walker to Walker. Cross court to Goss. Ran out of room, created some room. Rebound to Capers. Auburn has a chance to cut into this 5-point edge once again. Montgomery. Hit every part of the rim. Tanner! Circus put back and 1.
Tyrese Tanner. All that and then some. The 3-point shot is off for the freshman Montgomery, but the senior, with several defenders trying to hold her at bay, makes a huge play for Terry Williams-Fenoy.
Timeout, Kentucky. That was Samari Walker's 4th personal. Tyrese Tanner trying to complete a 3-point play to cut that lead to 2 for Kentucky.
And that's just plain old will to. The will to win, the will to make a play. Tyrese Tanner can do it all, but it's her will and her power that she uses that really allows her to be effective. Off the glass, getting into the lane. She can slice through the defense with a dribble, showing some power on the inside. What is it that she cannot do, Kara Capuano, because I have seen it all today.
She talked about the off-season strength and conditioning. She was talking mostly about endurance training. But I'll tell you what, she's a stringy bean, but she's strong, LaChina.
She is, and Terry Williams-Fenoy said Tyrese Tanner often puts a lot of pressure on herself. She wants to do well. She wants to please her coach, as she told us yesterday. And she has a high level of understanding of the game. Her IQ is very apparent from the moment she starts to open her mouth and talk, and her leadership is really showing right now.
Leads the team with 33 steals coming into this game. Montgomery has the rebound, fall away. Slipped through her hands like sand on the beach.
1-2-2 here, 3-quarter court pressure from Auburn. 10-second backcourt, we just mentioned it.
We were talking about it, LaChina.
Just by showing yourself defensively there, Auburn made Kentucky think. That's what Terry Williams-Fenoy said we want to do. Make you think about where you want to go with the ball.
9th time Auburn has forced a 10-second backcourt violation this season. Big chance for the Tigers to respond here. That was not it.
Brandy Montgomery was open in the corner. They had an overload situation against zone. Had Tyrese Tanner just taken a couple dribbles up, Montgomery would have been open.
This is a huge possession for Kentucky to calm this storm. Opportunity for Jalea Sidney for a 3-point play.
That's called stepping up. As Matthew Mitchell said, we don't call her name often, but when we do, Jalea Sidney is ready. Uses her body as Auburn is fronting the post to get some separation and good finish.
Can't hit the free throw. 5 points in the reserve role for Sidney. 5-point advantage, Kentucky. 4-minute mark here. Can Auburn continue to make this a game, or will the Wildcats pull away? Tucker with the feed to Montgomery. Runs out of room. A defense shut down. Davis inside. Nice move by number 34. Senior leadership as well.
Very good patience. Auburn worked the shot clock all the way down and got a high percentage shot.
O'Neal has numbers 3-on-2. Harper wants it. A little long. Auburn trying to keep the foot on the pedal.
Kentucky has been able to stay in this zone because Auburn has not knocked down a three-point shot consistently. They're more concerned about the drive of the Tigers.
There's the drive that you were talking about.
And you shouldn't be able to do that against his own defense.
Unless you're Tyrese Tanner.
Who can do whatever she wants.
Apparently. 1-point game and a season-high 28 for Tyrese Tanner. Kentucky goes to work on the other end. Sydney with the finish.
Christine Evans almost came up with a big layup, just hanging around defensively.
Long feed, too much on the pass to Davis. Lands in the hands of number 32.
Got to get some ball reversal.
72-69, Kentucky with the advantage. The senior Tyrese Tanner doing all she can to keep Auburn in the game.
Tyrese Tanner said, "This is my court, baby. You have to come through me at home."
I travel a lot for my work with swimming, and when I come home, I want a place to unwind. I bought my first endless pool over 15 years ago. In this newest endless pool, it's better than ever. The current is perfect for swimming any stroke. Crank it up and you can swim race pace, or back it off and just relax. Swimming or water walking and running is a wonderful way to exercise. The endless pool takes non-impact to another level. As I get older, keeping in shape is more important than ever. With an endless pool, I have a pool and a spa all in one. Hi, I'm Rowdy Gaines, 3-time Olympic gold medalist. I've been swimming in my endless pools for 15 years, and you can take it from me, it has it all.
Cheers and a song at Auburn Arena for Aubie, the mascot, who has just won a national award. Kentucky, though, with the 72-69 edge over Aubie's Auburn Tigers. There he is. The traditions of the SEC and fans, the most storied conference in college athletics, is living on a new network. Tradition has found a new home. The SEC Network launches August of this year. For more information, go to getsecnetwork.com. Big disparity today at the free throw line, LaChina.
Well, we're looking at the numbers here as Cassine Evans goes to the line, and Kentucky is only 12 for 25, now 12 for 26 from the charity stripe. they would have a sizable lead right now on the road where you have to make your free throws. They're not even shooting 50% from the line.
Season numbers for Kentucky, 67% from the free throw line, so well below that today. Keeping Auburn in it. Tigers trailing by 4. Tyrese Tanner needs a little help out there. Should be getting it from Peyton Davis. Maybe one of the freshmen will step up as well.
Gotta use your ball fakes against the zone. Get some reversal.
Tanner's been camping in the soft spot, calling for it. Davis with the chance to put it back.
That's a tough one. Peyton Davis is gonna want that back.
Great rebound by Bria Goss.
Yes.
Distributed leadership on this upperclassman-laden Kentucky team. I've got a pretty senior group out there right now. Walker, the only senior, but some juniors who have seen a ton of time. O'Neal and Goss in the shot clock at 3. Running out of time is Kentucky. The rebound falls to Peyton Davis.
Not a good possession for Kentucky.
Coach Flo calls the timeout.
30-second timeout called by Auburn.
Take us inside, LaChina. What's happening right now in that Auburn huddle?
Well, the challenge right now for Auburn is that they've been working deep into the shot clock, finding opportunities against Kentucky's zone, but you don't have that kind of time anymore because there's only 1:15 left in the game. So how can they get quick scores? What are they looking for? Reinforcing things to her team when you've got freshmen in key positions and players that don't have experience late game. You have to call them in, just remind them of where you are and what's available.
Foul trouble an issue. Freshman not helping out Tyrese Tanner. That's been part of the issue. Hasina Muhammad, second leading scorer on the team, not playing today because of an injury, but Tyrese Tanner has scored 17 of Auburn's 32 points in the second half.
It's unreal. She is an all-SEC performer, no doubt.
Wow! Megan Tucker! She's hit a few of those shots today. They look impressive because it's with the left, but she is a left-hander. We're just not used to seeing it there. Fans on their feet here in Auburn. Coach Mitchell calls a timeout.
30-second timeout. Kentucky checking into the Auburn lineup, number 35,
Right here, Megan Tucker, the freshman, just takes it in her own hands. You mentioned it, Kara. Going left, she's been able to create an angle whenever she's wanted it all game. And I don't even know how she kissed that off the glass. That's a playground shot if you ask me.
But you know what? It's a great demonstration of what the backboard can do for you, LaChina, because I got to see a couple high school games this week, and they're forgetting that at the younger level. Kids, use the glass.
Use
that glass. That's a big old box up there, and it's there to help you.
It's your friend. To the timeout situation for both teams. With some fouls adding up.
Tigers have lost 5 in a row to these Kentucky Wildcats, and last year's loss, an embarrassing one, a 44-point victory in Lexington for Kentucky, third largest ever against an SEC opponent. O'Neal with the shot clock under 10. Rebound falls to Lene Harper.
Boy, Lene Harper has made some huge plays. And it looks like Auburn's going to trust their defense right here. It's a one-possession game.
About a 6-second difference between the game and shot clock. Kentucky up 2. Shot clock under 10. Goss sees it. Kick to O'Neal. In and out. Falls in the hands of the SEC's leading rebounder, Samari Walker.
Fantastic board work by Kentucky. They worked time off the clock. And even with the miss, they're recovering. Samari Walker, the thankless job that she has.
In and out to keep Auburn's hopes alive. Matthew Mitchell told us this is going to be a close game. He anticipated a hard-fought, challenging battle. His question, will his Wildcats be poised and patient enough to take good shots against that tough Auburn defense?
Well, that was the free throw that Kentucky really needed in order to make this a two-possession game. So right now, Samari Walker will go to the free throw line, and what Matthew Mitchell is talking about is what to do then. If Auburn gets the ball back out of bounds with 6 seconds, considering if Samari Walker makes it, what do we want to do defensively? That's enough time for Auburn to make something happen.
Samari Walker, 13 points, 10 rebounds in this game, her 7th double-double of the year.
And if you're Auburn, you're saying, we need to box out. Because if she does miss it, we have to make sure we get the rebound, because we have not done that in the last couple of possessions.
And then you got to move, Shmoo, because you've only got 6 seconds left in this game clock, and that's always something we talk about in women's basketball. Do not hesitate. Make it your move now. There's a lot going on. Few things better than spending a Sunday afternoon with the Southeastern Conference women's basketball teams, that's for sure. So many close calls this year. Auburn has lost a couple against Vanderbilt and South Carolina here at home. They'd love to beat number 10 Kentucky, but it's the Wildcats' game to lose with Samari Walker at the line. Cannot hit it. Tyrese Tanner gets it, passes it ahead. A little much for Katie Ferking, and Auburn can't get the shot off. Disappointment on the faces of the Tigers. Elation and relief on the Wildcats.
Transition defense saved Kentucky. Ball comes off. Auburn secures it. Tyrese Tanner fumbles it a little bit, but gets it up. But look at Jennifer O'Neal with a perfect angle. And you have to wonder about the awareness of the freshman, Katie Ferking, in that situation. Did she know exactly how much time she had there?
Tyrese Tanner, 28 points in defeat. Kentucky with typically balanced scoring, 3 in double figures led by Jen O'Neal as number 10. Kentucky pulls off the 2-win victory for LaChina Robinson and our great SEC TV team. I'm Kara Capuano. Thanks for joining us on the Plains. Tune in next Sunday, LSU at Ole Miss. So long. Get to that.
That's all right.
But that was good.
Here in Auburn Arena, tip-off time is set for 6 p.m. On your way home, tune in to Wings 94.3 FM to hear Coach Flo and Flavors with Andy Merchant on the post-game show. Listen live to all Auburn games this season on Wings 94.3 FM. Drive home safely and War Eagle.
Distracted driving isn't worth the risk. Drive safe, Alabama.
That's a win, what that is.
Sure is. You expected
Can't take that one from us now.
You expected a hard fought one.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely got it.
3,129 on hand today. See one whale of a ball game.
Yep. Where are we? Here? Okay. Just start. We're good.
Joined now by Tigers head coach Terry Williams from Illinois. And I never know what to ask after such a heartbreaker after that. I know your kids put forth a great effort
here this afternoon, Coach. But,
Coach, your team was down 1 at the half, and you squeak out a victory on the road at Auburn. What was the difference for your team the second half of this game?
You know what, LaChina, we just found a way today. We certainly played a really, really tough Auburn team, and Terry's done such a great job with that team. They are really, really tough. They fight hard, and we were just able to make enough plays. You know, it was not the prettiest game we've ever played, but I'm real proud of our group because we had some people that, you know, hadn't always played huge roles that really stepped up on the road against a tough team and won. So I think we just made enough plays to win and just sort of gutted it out and found a way today.
A lot of big plays down the stretch, rebounding by Samari Walker. Lene Harper, the freshman, was outstanding for you. What does it mean for you to have that kind of depth, to be able to go to so many different players to get contributions?
It means a lot to have good players, you know, because I thought the kids really finally settled down in the middle to latter part of the second half and really started getting the ball to the rim against the zone, and that was really good decision making. And they played beautifully together. Auburn just throws so many looks at you, and it's so tough. And Tyrese Tanner, I mean, my gracious, I don't know what you do. The game just has to end to stop her from scoring. It's unbelievable. She's a great, great player. So I'm real proud of our group for finding a way today.
You had a week off, and you wanted to see how your team had grown during this week and how they would respond to some time, but also working on a lot of things this week. Overall, what were your thoughts on what you saw today?
Well, I just think that the league is so tough this year. I think Auburn's a really good team. I think we learned that you have to fight every minute of the game. We got down big in the first half and found a way to claw back. So we just have to – we're not playing our best right now. It's very clear about that. And we're playing good teams that are playing really good and making us make some mistakes. But we just have to keep plugging away, and hopefully we'll finally find our rhythm and start playing some really good basketball. But I'm proud as heck of this win.
As we look forward to what's ahead in the SEC, you say you're not playing your best basketball. What is it going to take for your team to do that?
I don't know what it's going to take for us to sort of start the game with some mental crispness. We just have had a hard time getting into flow of the game, and you know, a lot of that's on me. I got to find some way to set the tone. I thought we had some good preparation. They're great kids. They work hard. You know, obviously they have some character to battle back after a big loss. We just have to get off to better starts and see if we can, you know, start the game with a little bit better mental focus.
Well, Coach, you're going home with a W today. Congratulations.
Happy bunch of Wildcats. I can promise you that. Thanks.
Thank you, Coach.
on the day,